Asaf Avidan is an Israeli singer-songwriter and musician. He is also the creative force and frontman of Asaf Avidan and the Mojos, an Israeli folk rock band that he established in 2006 in Jerusalem. The band released 3 albums, The Reckoning in 2008, Poor Boy/Lucky Man in 2009 and Through the Gale in 2010. Starting in 2012, the Mojos band project was shelved so that Avidan would concentrate on a solo career. In 2012, he released Avidan in a Box, an acoustic live album which covers older songs by him, digital copies only. He also launched his solo studio album Different Pulses in Israel, to be made available internationally in 2013. Asaf Avidan also had an international hit with One Day/Reckoning song. Biography and early career. Avidan was born in Jerusalem in 1980. His parents were diplomats for the Israeli Foreign Office, and he spent 4 years of his childhood in Jamaica. After the mandatory army service in Israel, Avidan studied animation at Jerusalem unregistered trademark Bezalel Academy of Arts and Design. His final project short film, OE Find Love Now won its category at the Haifa Film Festival that year. After his studies, Avidan moved to Tel Aviv and worked as an animator, until a breakup with his longtime girlfriend shook his world and made him move back to Jerusalem, quit his job and turn full-time to his up-till-then hobby music. 6 songs about the breakup and subsequent heartache would constitute his debut EP, Now That You're Leaving, which was released independently in 2006 to critical acclaim. Asaf Avidan and the Mojos. In late 2006, while playing solo acoustic tour across Israel, Avidan put together a support cast of musicians who would become the Mojos. The group became very famous in Israel, playing extensively there, and even got out to a tour in New York City in 2007. Here, they also took part in Mini Fest, advancing to the finals. The band has released 3 albums, The Reckoning in 2008, Poor Boy/Lucky Man in 2009 and Through the Gale in 2010. The Reckoning. In 2007, Asaf Avidan and the Mojos went into the recording studio together for the first time, and recorded The Reckoning. The album unregistered trademark 15 tracks blended rock, folk and blues with Avidan unregistered trademark lyrics about relationships and betrayal. By now the band had accumulated a huge live following in Israel and most record labels expressed interest. But Avidan decided to continue on the independent path, and founded Tel Aviv Records, on which The Reckoning was released in March 2008. It reached gold status in a year, platinum later, and would become the biggest-selling independent record of all time in Israel. It was chosen as Album of the Year by various media, including Time Out Tel Aviv. Week, the second single of the album, became a huge radio hit and its video was Video of the Year on Israeli unregistered trademark music channel. Week would also be the title song of the film Lebre by Julie Kelly, which starred Charlotte Gainsbourg and was the closing film at Cannes Film Festival 2010. While several European labels put offers on the table, the band opted to embark on a self-funded summer tour in 2009, playing dozens of festivals and venues across Europe. By the end of that summer, Tel Aviv Records signed a licensing deal with Sony Columbia in Europe, for The Reckoning, and for the band's future second LP. The Reckoning was released in parts of Europe in 2009, to generally good reviews. In 2012 The Reckoning song of the album became popular in Germany by a remix of DJ Wankelwood. It was available on SoundCloud for months before it was released as a proper digital release named One Day/Reckoning Song. The track charted on sales charts in June 2012 and reached number 1 in August. Poor Boy/Lucky Man, Poor Boy/Lucky Man, the band's second album, was released in Israel on 909. The album's title song and main theme would revolve around a boy born with a hole instead of a heart. The album was originally released in 2 different names and covers, leaving it up to the audience to decide whether this figure was poor or lucky. It would reach gold status in Israel in 5 months, and garner ecstatic reviews. It was released in parts of Europe in April 2011. Among others, it was Album of the Month on France's national FIP radio, in the newspaper Libre Copyright Ration, and in Germany's Eclipsed magazine. The band continued to tour non-stop from 2009 all through 2011, building up a devoted following and a reputation for a legendary live show. Amongst the hundreds of shows, he played at Brandenburg Gate at the World Championship of Athletics in Berlin, at the closing event at Cannes Film Festival 2010, at China's biggest May 1st festivals, and at a tribute concert for The Who in Carnegie Hall, New York. He played at dozens of festivals across Europe as well as a number of radio and TV shows. Through the Gale, on November 30, 2010 the band released their third album in Israel, Through the Gale, a concept album telling the tale of the voyage of a blind and stubborn captain and his loyal crew in search of immortality, to the realms of the gods themselves, only to understand at the end that a voyage with no home, that a life without death, is meaningless. Band members: Asaf Avidan Euro-led vocals, guitar, harmonica, Roy Pelder Euro guitar, Yoni Shellega Euro drums, Ranna Euro bass guitar, Hardis Klinman Euro cello, solo career. In July 2011, following another summer tour that saw them sharing the stage with Robert Plant, Ben Harper and Lou Reed among others, Asaf Avidan and the Mojos announced that they are taking an indefinite creative break. Avidan had continuously played solo and duo acoustic shows throughout the band's career, including regular venue shows as well as a TED Global Conference performance, supporting Bob Dylan, playing a tribute concert for The Who at Carnegie Hall and many radio and TV performances. In 2012, Asaf Avidan announced that he was leaving Sony to join Polydor, and that he was abandoning the Mojos for a solo career. He released the track Different Pulses in preparation for a solo international album in 2013 but to be made available in Israel in September 2012. Prior to his first expected solo album, Avidan toured Israel with a guitar, harmonica and added vocals. The response of the crowds to these intimate, acoustic shows were tremendous. Encouraged by this, Avidan agreed to perform in a series of low-key events spread on 48 hours renditions of some of his earlier stuff in a small rented space in South Tel Aviv. The sessions were done with no rehearsals, with just simple guitar accompaniment and in presence of a select few friends attending. His acoustic performances were accordingly recorded without much studio production, with the result being the limited release Avidan in a Box. On February 13, 2013 Avidan performed a piano vocal version of his hit Reckoning song at the San Remo Music Festival in Italy. Different Pulses is the first studio album of Asaf Avidan after the breakup of his band. Different Pulses is also the name of the first single Avidan released from the album. The song had a music video made for it by director Vania Heeman. Discography: Asaf Avidan and the Mojos, albums, singles, Asaf Avidan, albums, studio albums, live album, 17 acoustic live renditions of earlier songs, EPs, singles, notes, Taratata French TV performance, TEDxTLV performance, C'est Soru Jamari TV performance, Israel Ha Project video blog, NYC show review, The Reckoning album review, UK, references. External links, official website, official SoundCloud profile, Asaf Avidan on MySpace, Asaf Avidan on Facebook, Asaf Avidan's channel on Vimeo, Asaf Avidan's channel on YouTube.